Fox Eats! Renewed again for the Lore Pursuit and Handyman 68 Dress Alt release maintenance. We're actually going to start a bit upstream though, since there was an update before this. The one where Erica was released. Because there was literally one thing to talk about there. It's not nothing, but it certainly wasn't enough for its own video. So the one and only update. Daily missions. They're exactly that. Do them every day like a good sensei. Most missions will be completed naturally just by doing the rest of your dailies, but there are a few that don't always get fulfilled as part of the basic daily gameplay loop. Am I talking about the 20 small enemies quest? No, but having to go out of your way to commissions for that is annoying too. It's the other slightly annoying one. The one about collecting 5 blueprints. Most of the time you're fine since running hard missions is usually a part of most people's daily routine, assuming you're running a hard that gives blueprints. But then there are times where you want to allocate all of your AP to something, like when there's a must-farm welfare student that you'll spare no AP for, or when you're dying to put all your AP towards commissions. Admittedly, there was already a workaround. You can use a few selector blueprints to create equipment that you already needed, while getting the mission fulfilled on the side. No need for that anymore though. Universal blueprints now count towards this mission. To be extra clear, they didn't before. Why does this matter though? Universal blueprints mostly drop where regular equipment drops, meaning this generally wouldn't change anything considering the regular blueprints would complete the mission before the universal blueprints even helped. There is one major exception though. Events. They drop blueprints but no equipment. Just not including the extremely rare event like Trip Trap Train, which does directly drop equipment. Exceptions, exceptions, exceptions. Anyways, a little bit less going out of your way in some cases. And that's a wrap for the Erica update. It's time to see what the Foxes brought this time. We'll start with something exciting since the last bit took longer than expected. Have you ever been copying a timeline from someone, and then you find out that you have to bald for a certain card to appear after the first 2? Because that's what happens when you can only pre-arrange 3 cards and the last 3 are left to chance. And then when it's of course the card you didn't want, you smash that retry button. This happens any number of times since 1/3 is never good odds when you need it. Just like how the Gauze train is air quotes 50%, yet it always manages to appear on the wrong side. Well, there's no helping you with the trains, but by the grace of the devs, we can do something about the card order now. Yes, you can now order up to 5 cards for the standard 6-man raids. And in the 10-man raids you can set up to 9 cards now. So cook your strategies with whatever card order you want now. Maybe it'll just shift the ball to somewhere else, but I personally prefer most other forms of balding. Speaking of raids, that brings us to our next update. With Total Assault before, you had to play every day because you could only store 1 day's worth of the daily 3 raid tickets. To someone who had already mentally checked out of the raids, or was particularly busy outside of Kivotos, raiding every day might not be the ideal obligation. This update's got your back though. You can store up to 6 tickets now, so 2 days worth. This unfortunately won't help you skip to the higher difficulties since you still need to work your way from hard to lunatic one by one. And considering it's 7 days, you'd still have to burn tickets on 4 days. But when you've decided you're ready to retire from the rat race early with your healthy gold or lesser bald plat, maybe you'll think fondly on this Slack enablement update. Moving on, it's my favorite update of the patch. Searching students by names was added back in the Fashionable Ninja event back in December 2025. I think that was the first of these update videos I even made. When they first added the student searching functionality, it was limited to the students menu. That has its uses when you're just trying to upgrade students, but the real pain point personally was always in the other places where you're actually trying to set a student, be it for choosing assists to extort credits from your club or putting together your bald squad for a given occasion. And now that prayer has been answered. You can now search for students by name in the battle menu. No more drudgery of scrolling through the list, or coping with an imperfect armor and attack color combination filter. Who does that? For the people who are willing to embrace change though, put Mika, S Mika, or U Mika into formation with the power of search. Wouldn't mind a real U Mika eventually. Is that all? No, there's more. Ever been arranging your cafe and wanted to search for a specific piece to complete your cafe? Well, that's solved too. You can search for furniture by name now. The one catch is that you need to know what you're looking for. To some senseis, that might not be a problem. Some people have the uncanny ability to recognize transplanted bulges on anime boy toys. Others have similarly scary, encyclopedic recognition of student halos and login calls. And maybe it extends to exactly every piece of furniture and which student's live motion corresponds to it. But if you're not one of those blessed, cursed, with that level of memory, you'll probably need to consult an outside reference like Share to find out which piece of furniture to search for. Maybe they'll add it to the profile eventually like they did for the favorite Bond items recently. So what's next? More search? Yes, more search. You can search your items too. Keep track of how many wave cats you've got. Or make sure Koharu isn't appropriating Haniwas from the Share stores. She's actually not even the queen of Haniwas. That title belongs to Bunny Nero, surprisingly. I'm running out of insane things to say about search, so we'll speed this up a bit. You can search your equipment as well. You can search the mercenaries you offer your friends. You can search the student who memorializes your lobby. You can search the student you put on your ID card. You can even search the Momotalk menu so you can apologize for leaving them on red for literal years. Gomen, Yuka. One place I wish it worked was for choosing within selectors. We still can't do that yet, unfortunately. I also wish Romaji worked too, but not going to get too greedy for the time being. Thank you, John. And with the search talk done, we're ready to move on to the next bit. Back in the day, meaning one patch ago, failure used to have consequences. You'd lose a single AP every time you fail a battle that uses it. But if you're the perfectionist, let not a drop of AP go to waste kind of sensei, you can rejoice. For the consequences are no more. In the grand scheme of things, it's not that big. But personally, I'm slightly appreciative since it makes experimenting for challenge quests ever so slightly less punishing. It makes me more willing to tackle content without a guide. Because there's nothing left to lose. Okay, next up. Camera controls in raid battles. It's only for fighting Mr. Krabs so far, but we have a new camera zoom button. Right up here in the top right. Press that to zoom. Zoom 1 is normal distance. Zoom 2 for the close-up. And Zoom 3 gives you the big picture. I assume this is mainly for the mobile users who might be at risk of fat-fingering buffs in Phase 2 when you need to operate the stuff farther in the background. And in case you were curious, I checked to see if this is possible in the old raids now too. The old raids have not been extended this cinematic privilege, but I'll tell you what, we can zoom to the next update instead. There's a login mission campaign with a slightly different skin that has its own button, so we're counting it as a system update. At least it's not a paid one like the other recent campaign. It comes in two forms depending on whether you're an active sensei or a sensei that's been away. The exact threshold for being counted as a returning sensei is unfortunately both not listed and nobody seems to have shared data about it in my circles. There's one last thing that's not technically a system update. It wasn't specifically mentioned on the patch notes, but it's something you guys seem like you would enjoy. The AP potions. They've been moved to the front of the PvP shop. You now have 1% less chance of buying rat elos accidentally now. Isn't it great? Next, oh gosh, look at the time. We'll have to stop here. I gotta get off to my next order. Got some folks waiting for a king crab delivery. And then there's also some maniac who ordered snow crab and a hit of weed. Hopefully I can make it while the food's still warm. Hope you enjoyed today's order though. If it's not too much trouble, I'd appreciate a review. But thanks for watching in any case.